What's going on, folks? Adrian here. Welcome back to the channel and to the month of June. We are halfway through the year. Plenty has happened and will continue to happen to the MMORPGs that we play, and as always, I'll be here to cover as much as I can. So let's get straight to the news drop, beginning with Final Fantasy XIV. Square Enix certainly isn't stopping the Shadowbringers hype train since release is just around the corner, which means more news. Let's start with the next letter from the producer live, which will take place on Friday, the 14th of June, and don't miss this one because they will be covering topics like battle content, the NPC trust system, which is what I'm really looking forward to, plus crafting changes as well. Additionally, changes are coming when 5.0 drops specifically to tomestones, and Shadowbringers will give us 2 new types of tomestones, but only after reaching level 80 with at least 1 class and job, and elegant tomestones of Mendacity and Genesis will be going away for good. All trials and content that used to drop this will now reward Poetics or one of the new ones, and all that info is linked down below, so check it out. And lastly, for Final Fantasy XIV, a new Make It Rain campaign is going live on the 6th of June until the 24th, so jump in and make that MGP rain, folks. Now, the Elsewhere chapter for The Elder Scrolls Online is of course live for us on the PC, and console players and everybody else, you are only a few days away from some serious fun as the chapter releases globally on June 4th. That's not stopping ZeniMax Online from sharing all the details they can, of course, about all the features arriving with Update 22, and one of them you will experience if you play a lot of PvP in Cyrodiil is the new artifact weapons, like the Volendrung that spawns randomly in Cyrodiil, and players who find it will gain access to new abilities that can strike down large groups of players and do massive damage even to fortifications, and that's just one way they're trying to spice up PvP. Let's just hope the performance improves in Cyrodiil too. Anyway, check out the full feature and highlight on PvP artifact weapons, link down below. Guild Wars 2 has been busy. Hot off the heels from their Season 4 finale released last month, ArenaNet has got more in store for players this June, and starting on the 4th until the 11th, we have a brand new week-long Meta Rush event. Completing selected meta events will reward you with several bonus boxes of goods, but the good news is, unlike the World Boss event, this one is going to be more community focused, which means there is a tiered community goal. There are 5 tiers in total, and each time we as a community finish off enough meta events to get to the next tier, we will all receive bonus rewards. For example, completing tier 5 gives you 5 guild heroes banners, 3 celebration boosters, 5 liquid karma, etc. And I just know, because of how Guild Wars 2 is and how we as players love doing meta events, this is going to be achieved in a heartbeat. And I'm talking about getting to tier 5. Anyway, the eligible meta events includes the ones from Ore, Ascalon, Maguma Wastes, the Heart of Maguma, and in the Crystal Desert, and the post to all the exact meta events and their names will be linked below if you want to research them in advance. Additionally, for Guild Wars 2, if you put in a shift to get your brand new Skyscale mount already, good news, you are now eligible to grind for the game's brand new legendary trinket called Vision, and this one will take you all over the Living World Season 4 maps, and yes, the Skyscale mount is mandatory for the collections. While Vision on its own looks just like Aurora, having both of them will have a unique aesthetic. World of Warcraft has released details about a new set of upgradable equipment for patch 8.2's Nosjatar region called BENTHIC gear. The gear itself can be earned while adventuring in Nosjatar, in addition to picking up prismatic mana pearls. This is currency that can be used to purchase BENTHIC tokens and upgrades. Now, these tokens are account bound and can be used to get pieces of upgradable BENTHIC gear specific to your armor type, starting at eye level 385. Over time, through gameplay, you can upgrade your gear to eye level 425, just below heroic level raid gear. Tokens can also be found in treasure chests or on enemies on the new landscape. So what's cool about the new gear? Well, you can ship them off to all characters, and they do have gear bonuses that apply in Nosjatar and the new Eternal Palace raid. They might boost your damage, or slow enemies, or increase your mount speed in the zone, so it's on you to play with the BENTHIC gear customization. So what do you folks think of this new gearing system coming with World of Warcraft patch 8.2? Let me know in the comments. Over to Middle-earth and the Lord of the Rings Online. Update 24 was on the Bullroarer test server this past week, and heads up, changes are coming to the virtue system. For example, deeds that used to award virtues will now award you with 2,000 virtue experience instead. So unless I'm mistaken, it sounds like virtues will be its own progression system moving forward. Instead of earning ranks immediately through completion of deeds, you get experience to rank up. Anyone who was on the BR server that has tested this, feel free to confirm or correct. Additionally, from now until June the 6th, expansions and expansion quests are 25% off in the in-game store, meaning it's cheaper to grab with LOTRO points for anyone who's been saving up to unlock an expansion or quests in an expansion area. In case you missed it, DC Universe Online is officially coming to the Nintendo Switch console sometime this summer. Yes, this is huge. Why? Because the only other major IP-ish MMORPGs on the console right now are Dragon Quest and Phantasy Star Online, both of which are only available in Japan. Sure, there are other international MMOs on the console, and trust me, I've played most of them, and they're not worth talking about or downloading, which makes DC Universe Online the first MMORPG from the West to make it on there. There's going to be more info about DCUO on Switch coming in the near future, but for now, we know it will remain free to play. There's no plans for crossplay at launch, which means this will be a brand new fresh start server or something, and no, your existing characters or account will not be linked or carried over. Now, if you want to jump into upcoming MMORPG Lost Ark, there may be a chance thanks to Mail.ru, as they are currently letting players access a demo version of Lost Ark to get ready for its official Russia launch sometime this year. I have no idea what's in the demo, but sources say it's 27 gigs in total file size download, and you may need a VPN to access it if you're outside of the region. So if you're interested, you'll need to create an account on the Mail.ru official site and give it a shot. And if you do have a VPN, this might be easier to get into for a taste of some Lost Ark gameplay compared to the South Korean full game at the moment, because the latter requires you to have a registered Korean cell phone number and you have to play around with an app, and yeah, it's just complicated. I've tried it. Anyway, be fast about it as the demo ends on the 6th of June. Here's some news for Neverwinter players out there. Firstly, the new expansion Undermountain, which released only recently for the PC, has been delayed on console until June 18th. The reason why Mod 16 is getting pushed back for console is probably due to the developers trying to fix things with the new expansion overall. In the recent patch notes I've posted below from a dev Q&A, Neverwinter will be reducing health of all enemies by 10%, including bosses, scaling back on the scaling changes which made life difficult for most players, and a ton more, which looks like Cryptic Studios has decided to absorb all that negative feedback from the expansion's launch to try and patch things up before hitting console. I've played the expansion and I agree with what most players are saying. Mod 16 feels kinda off, but that's for a different video, which is actually on my Patreon already, so hopefully the developers can get it right for the rest of you. Free-to-play MMORPG Revelation Online's latest expansion, Heaven and Earth, has launched earlier in the week, and the world of Numenor gets bigger. The new expansion comes with a new dungeon, the Temple of the 12, a battle companion system very familiar to what Terra introduced only last month. There's a new wedding system which actually lets you hold a ceremony and a parade in-game, and a new family oath system that rewards you and your friends for simply playing together. Needless to say, the game's main story also continues with the expansion, so check it out if you're interested. Onwards now, and have you heard of an MMO called Worlds Adrift? If not, it is a sandbox, community-driven airborne MMO that's all about the joys of exploration and airships and creation together with others, where players are able to build their own airships using their grappling hook tool that's also used for other functions. The game first went into early access back in 2017, and if you're interested in checking it out, bad news, Worlds Adrift will be shutting down in July. In an interview with PC Gamer magazine, developers Bosa Studios noted that the game never reached the level of popularity it needed to in order to sustain the game, so the player base just wasn't there, and it was necessary to shut it down. But important to note here, the studio itself isn't going away, just the game. So if you bought Worlds Adrift on Steam between April 29th to May 29th, you will be eligible for a refund. Remember that newly announced tactical strategy MMORPG called Destiny Sword that wants to be unique as it deals with mental health issues? Well, this past week they've launched their Kickstarter campaign to get the project off the ground, seeking $22,000 in total by the end of June. The more I watch the Kickstarter pitch video, the more I guess I'm liking it, but the gameplay just doesn't cut it for me yet. I know it's very early on in the development process, but I'll be keeping an eye on this one. If you want to do the same, I've got links below. And that's all I've got, folks. If there's news for a game that you play which I didn't cover here, feel free to share them in the comments below for the benefit of everyone. Our community is all about keeping everyone in the loop. Also, hit that like button for the love of MMOs, and feel free to subscribe to the channel for more videos and get notified on all my latest uploads. Once again, I'm Adrian, and I thank you for watching. Hey folks, thanks so much for watching that video. If you guys want to watch more, you can click the subscribe button at the bottom there, or somewhere over here. And don't forget to hit that bell to get notified on all my latest videos. So I'll see you guys at the next vid. Take care.